What's up, shit? Timmy's here. With her return to the big screen this week with Freakier Friday, I decided to go ahead and do my top 10 favorite Lindsay Lohan movies. Because I've always been a fan of Lindsay Lohan, going all the way back to Freakier Friday days. Her music career I've always dug. Remember the song she did, the song Rumor, that song Rumor, which she had a weird, odd moment with Kyle Farrell in that. I'm like, I still remember, were they dating at the time? Anyway. Of course, her music career was always great. I've always dug her music career. Hopefully she'll have a music comeback down the line. But I'm obviously talking about her movie career. I've always loved her in films. So here are my official top 10 favorite Lindsay Lohan movies. Alright. Coming in at number 10 is a recent one. And that I have a little bit of a soft spot for this one because I was lucky enough to see Lindsay Lohan in person at the premiere for this. And that was a film. Number 10 is Falling for Christmas. Now, I was actually going to see this one at Deers at the time because I had like an invitation to see this, to see it in Deers. But it was like, I got there a little too late. It was like those first serve, come first type thing. But, disappointed I didn't get to see it in Deers at the time. But I was lucky enough to see Lindsay Lohan in person at the time, too. Because she was, there signing autographs stuff. Man, I don't know if I could ever do those premieres. Like, those people, if they want an autograph with the girl and stuff, they'll just, push you. I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that ever again. But I like seeing... It's cool seeing celebs in person, but it's safe to say that's not really worth it there. But that aside... Falling for Christmas is a really nice little rom-com. Definitely far better than Irish Wish she did last year, too. That other recent Christmas one she did, that was okay. Forgot the name of it. This is actually the better one she put out. It stars Lindsay Lohan as Sierra Belmont, who's a spoiled heiress who suffers amnesia after a skiing accident and lands in a small-town lodge owned by Jake Russell, played by Troy Overstreet, from Glee fame. And the film is a really nice little charming flick. Lindsay Lohan. I was also lucky enough to see Troy Overstreet in person as well at the premiere. Cool there too. But Falling for Christmas is a nice little rom-com. Lindsay Lohan was good in this. Her chemistry with Troy Overstreet, which obviously was a little connection because they were both in Glee together, because Lindsay Lohan had a little guest spot on Glee. But yeah, it is a really nice little one. Definitely has a little bit of a overboard feel to it. But if you guys haven't seen it, I'll say give it a go. And her rendition of Jingle Bell Rock was actually pretty cool too. So I actually listen to that version almost every Christmas now. All right, number 9 is Chapter 27. Chapter 27, starred Jared Leto, who I know Jared Leto gets a lot of hate nowadays and all. Now, he was really good in his Oscar win, Dallas Buyers Club. Now, that was actually his first Oscar nomination in general. I still consider that this should have been his first Oscar nomination. Chapter 27 stars Jared Leto as Mark David Chapman, who's, of course, the one who ends up killing John Lennon in 1980. And, of course, you got Lindsay Lohan, who plays Jude, a Lennon fan who befriends with Chapman outside of the Dakota building. And it's a very interesting dark drama. I mean, Jared Leto went all out. He was so... I still remember seeing this one time, years ago. I'm like, was that Jared Leto? He was really unrecognizable. You would not recognize Jared Leto in this at all. If you just watch the movie, just plain, and you're like, who's the guy playing... Oh, is that the same guy who just played Joker? I'm like, great performance there. But Lindsay Lohan, of course she does play the character Jude, which hence, hey Jude, Lindsay Lohan, of course, obviously, it's really funny to see her play a character named Jude, because obviously, the iconic Beatles song, Hey Jude and stuff, but it is a really decent one worth giving a go. Lindsay really showcased that she's not just the Disney queen anymore. She really has some acting chops, and this was one of her better performances. Alright, coming in at number 8 is the Disney Channel original movie, Life Size. Now, Life Size 2 was okay. That didn't have Lindsay in it. But Life Size, starred starred Lindsay Lohan as Casey Stewart, who's this pretty teen who tries to resurrect her late mother using a spell book, but accidentally brings her daughter Eve back to life. Of course, you got Tyra Banks playing the character of Eve. Life Size is a really charming little flick, on Disney Channel. Definitely one of the top tier Disney Channel original movies. And Lindsay is terrific. Her chemistry with Tyra Banks is great. It's just a really nice little film worth giving a go. Hey, maybe Tyra Banks and Lindsay Lohan were actually at the Freakier Friday premiere. I know we already had a Life Size 2 on, I think it was on Freeform years ago. Maybe they'll do like another sequel. Like with Lindsay Lohan returning. That could be pretty cool, but who knows? Alright, coming in at number 7 is Machete. Now, of course, Lindsay Lohan plays April Booth, who's a spoiled, drug addicted daughter of the corrupt businessman who, of course, Machete takes out here. And, of course, she starts starts as a party girl, but joins Machete's fight, even posing as a nun. If you want to see a lot of Lindsay Lohan in this, yeah, you see a lot of Lindsay Lohan if you know what I mean. And Machete, that aside, I love the first Machete. Machete Kills was cool too. She wasn't in that, obviously, but the first Machete was awesome. I remember seeing that one in theaters back in 2010. I had a fun time with it. You also had like Danny Trejo, Steven Seagal. You also had Robert De Niro, Jeff Fahey, and obviously Lindsay Lohan had a pool scene with Danny Trejo's Machete. I'm like, that's something I never knew I needed, but okay. Uh, and of course, Lindsay Lohan as like a gun wielding nun was something I never knew I needed too. But she really, this was definitely a very different role for Lindsay. She didn't really do like action type stuff beforehand, so I wouldn't mind seeing her try her hand at more action. Like she was awesome in this one. Of course, directed by Robert Rodriguez too. So that. All right, number 6 is Bobby. Now, Bobby, of course, was directed by Emil Estevez. This was actually the first R-rated movie starring Lindsay Lohan, by the way. Of course, obviously, beforehand, she was always best known for, like, family-friendly stuff, like, Disney stuff and all that. And this, of course, takes place in 1968 and follows, like, 22 interconnected characters at the Ambassador Hotel. And it is, of course, about, Robert F. Kennedy's, assassination here. Lindsay Lohan, of course, plays like Elijah Woods' fiance, if you will, who's like a young woman who plans to marry her friend William to save him from being drafted to Vietnam. Spoiler: Elijah Woods' character actually does get killed at the end. And the scene where like Lindsay Lohan sees like her fiance's dead body on the ground after Kane got killed is actually pretty heartbreaking. But Bobby is terrific. Of course, directed by Emil Estevez. The cast was insane. I'm talking, we had Harry Belafonte, Anthony Hopkins, Nick Cannon, Ashton Kutcher, Martin Sheen, William H. Macy. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, who would ever expect to see a movie with Nick Cannon and Anthony Hopkins, Lindsay Lohan, all in the same film together? But it actually worked out pretty decent. Her storyline with Elijah Wood was really good, really heartfelt, and really showcased that Lindsay was just not that girl next door anymore. She was not just that Mean Girls actress anymore. She was not that Disney girl anymore. She definitely had some interesting acting chops. All right. Coming in at number 5 is Herbie Fully Loaded. Herbie Fully Loaded was, of course, the remake of the Herbie, Love Bug from the Dean Jones Herbie film from like the 1960s. Of course, this had like Michael Keaton. You also had people like Justin Long, Matt Dillon, many others. Cheryl Hines was also in this. Herbie Fully Loaded, of course, you guys don't know, stars Lindsay Lohan as Maggie Payton, who's a 22-year-old with a passion for racing and is stood by her protective family. And she, of course, bonds with Herbie to chase like her dreams. Michael Keaton is awesome in this. Of course, he plays like her dad here. Matt Dillon, Justin Long was good. It was really decent. Really, charming. If Freaking Friday does well, I would be down to see a sequel to Herbie Fully Loaded. That would be awesome. I don't think that's gonna happen, but I mean, Herbie isn't as popular as Freaky Friday, but still, it is a really decent one. And believe it or not, before Freaky Friday, this was actually her last Disney movie she did before Freaky Friday comes out this week. So pretty cool there. But so pretty much Freaky Friday is like her first Disney movie in over like 20 years. So that's cool. But Herbie is a really decent one. Of course, she did have that song first, which I still always jam once in a while. I mean, she's really good in this one. If you guys haven't seen it. All right. Coming in at number 4 is Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen. This also had a young Megan Fox in it, which was pretty cool there too. It of course starred Lindsay Lohan as Mary Loa Cat, who's a diagonal, self-absorbed teen with big dreams of stardom. And she's like flair of drama and bold personality drives the story. And it's a really decent one. Really is charming. Of course, Lindsay also did compared to the soundtrack. She of course did the iconic song "Confessions of Teenage Drama Queen," which also is featured in this. It is a really decent teen comedy. Of course, this came out at the same time that Lindsay did Mean Girls, so she was obviously the teen queen at the time. And this was definitely one of her better ones. All right. Coming in at number 3 is The Parent Trap. Now, this was actually Lindsay Lohan's first film, really. She played like identical twin Annie and Ellie, who are separated at birth and raised by their divorced parents. Of course, you had the late Natasha Richardson, Dennis Quaid. Obviously, of course, Lindsay plays 2 characters in this, twins, because I guess the Olsen twins was available at the time. They both started as twins with distant personalities, and she is refined. Annie is, of course, a refined British, raised by her designer mom, while Hallie is a spunky Californian living with her vendor dad Nick. And they try to navigate challenges like Nick's scheming fiance and try to bring their family back. The Parent Trap was, of course, directed by Nancy Myers. She did a great job. I really quite like The Parent Trap. Definitely one of the few remakes that's actually better than the original. Like the Haley Mills one is decent. Don't get me wrong. I still always prefer the remake over the original. It is a really decent one. Lindsay played like her chemistry with herself is really good. Dennis Quaid was really decent in this. Elaine Hendricks is also in this. She's really good. Lisa Ann Water, who's now best known for Abbott Elementary fame. She steals lots of scenes. It is a really decent one worth giving a go. Alright. Coming in at number 2, we got the sequel out this week. Number 2 is Freaky Friday. And of course, you got Lindsay Lohan, who plays this sarcastic, music-obsessed teen, who of course ends up pretty much inside the body of her mother, while her mother becomes Lindsay Lohan here. And it's really terrific. Just like Parent Trap, the original with Jodie Foster is decent too. I still actually prefer the remake over the original. I mean, Lindsay Lohan just becoming Jamie Lee Curtis and Jamie Lee Curtis becoming Lindsay Lohan is always fun to watch. Her music scenes in this is really cool. I mean, of course, you had like Chad Michael Murray, many others. It is a really decent remake worth giving a go. Really amazing. Can't wait for the sequel too. And my number 1 favorite Lindsay Lohan film of all time is none other than Mean Girls. I mean, I could have easily added Freaky Friday as her best, but it will always be Mean Girls. I mean, Freaky Friday, of course, put her on the map. Parent Trap was her breakout role and all. It was really Mean Girls that really cements her as the teen queen. Of course, here you got Lindsay Lohan, who plays Katie Heron, who's a teenager who moves from Africa to the U.S. and navigates the treacherous social hierarchy of high school. And she meets the popular clique Plastics, led by Regina George. And obviously, she has like outcast friends, Janice Damon, who try to sabotage, Regina as well. Now, last year, Mean Girls musical, it was really cool seeing Lindsay Lohan have that little cameo in Mean Girls last year. That was pretty cool to see. I really quite like that scene in the remake when, Lindsay tells, the Katie character, I don't know your life. That's really funny because she actually, played that same character in 2004's Mean Girls. I still find that to be a funny moment. But the original Mean Girls just has so much, quotes. It's just really terrific. The chemistry between the, plastics and Lindsay is great. And I do hope we actually get a Mean Girls sequel down the line. Now, before you ask, they already did. Yes, yes, yes. I know they did a Mean Girls sequel that we don't talk about. But it was cool seeing the Mean. Now, even though we don't have a sequel feature or anything like that, it was really cool to see those Walmart commercials featuring Lindsay Lohan and featuring Lindsay and Lacey Chabert and Amanda Seyfried. That was actually pretty cool to see there. If they do a Mean Girls sequel like that, I'll be all for it. But yeah, the original, like that Mean Girls movie, like even though the musical's really good, I still watch it once in a while. I will always adore the 2004 version. It's just so iconic. One of the best teen movies of all time and well worth a watch. Anyway, that's pretty much it there. Here is my quick rundown. Number 10, Falling for Christmas. 9, Chapter 27. 8, Life Size. 7, Machete. 6, Bobby. 5, Herbie Fully Loaded. 4, Confessions of the Teenage Drama Queen. 3, Parent Trap. 2, Freaky Friday. And number 1 is Mean Girls. Now, she also did other stuff too. Let me pull up some of her other credits. Lindsay Lohan movies. Now, she's actually also appeared on some TV shows. Like, she had a little guest spot on Two Broke Girls, SNL, and all. Of course, she was in that little secret movie last year. Not Irish, which is terrible. I'm not going to clear that. She had a little cameo with Charlie Sheen in Scary Movie 5. She was in The Canyons with James Dean. Not that James Dean, a different James Dean, if you know what I'm talking about. Liz and Dick, where she played Elizabeth Taylor. Labor Pains. Her Razzie Award win for I Know Who Killed Me. Get a Clue, which is another really nice little Disney. I would have either gone with Get a Clue or Life Size. I went with Life Size. Georgia Rules with Jane Fonda, A Prairie Home Companion. I mean, she's been in some really cool stuff. Not everything she's in is the best. I Know Who Killed Me. But yeah, she is always amazing. Hopefully we get some music comebacks from her. Anyway, let me let you guys. What are some of your favorite Lindsay Lohan films? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Timmy Simon.